Hi, John.
Hi, Kat. You're proud of yourself, aren't you?
Very. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Kat?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. Thank you for asking.
Glad to hear it. What is it that we're doing, though?
John, we're recording.
See what I did there?
Yeah,
see what I did there?
did.
Turned it around
We're
on you.
recording a podcast.
We are. And what kind of podcast are we recording? What do we do on this podcast that we're recording?
Well, generally, this is an entertainment comedy podcast. Some might argue against that, but as far as we're concerned, it's a comedy podcast.
Hey, Kat, fuck those people.
Fuck them right up the ass.
F them
Unless
in the
they like that, and then don't do that because you're not supposed to.
Don't do that. No, because you're just encouraging them.
Oh man, we're off to a good start.
Aren't we?
Specifically, we talk about mistakes.
We do. Whose mistakes, Kat? Yeah.
Well, I'm getting
you're so in tune with me. You're answering my questions before I ask them.
It's as if I've been asked these questions 150 times.
Almost, or 184 times.
Yeah, but we don't. We didn't start this particular intro for like maybe after the first 60. I think is when we started doing this.
Really? Okay. All right.
We can talk about this
I'm
later.
just kidding. We'll talk about it offline. We'll put a pin in it. We'll circle back. Okay.
Look at the Aussies. Okay. They're just stunned.
The who?
They're
the what?
Anne
the
could not be more bored. We're losing her. We talk about mistakes. Yours, mine, other people's, historical figures. We call those hysterical mistorks. Sometimes we have shit shooters where we don't really have anything to talk about, and we end up talking about really interesting, fun things, which is always what a surprise.
Right? We just pull those things out of our back pockets.
Indeed. And then sometimes we talk about bison.
We do. We have spoken directly to bison.
Two bison.
Two different bison.
Two bison.
To whom we have spoken.
And sometimes we come up with brand new types of episodes.
Almost like every third episode is like a new type of episode.
Yeah. And that's what this is, John.
Oh, it is?
It is. I don't even know what to call it. I mean, I think I do know what to call this.
Oh, okay. I'm in. I'm ready.
It's the extra long, extended Ask an Aussie.
Ooh. Cinco-sode.
We have a full house tonight, John.
We do. Look at all these people in our house.
We have helping us on the ones and twos is Ann Hicks-Bleecker.
Yay!
Ann Hicks-Bleecker.
She's our engineer, so she's hard at work. You can see her. Look at those little hands going.
It's like that little cat meme on the keyboard. Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be Ask an Aussie without a couple of Aussies. John, please help me in welcoming back to the My Mistake podcast. I almost said something else.
That would have been bad, Kat. Welcome, Olivia and Kitch.
It's
Thank you. Good to be here.
Hey, guys. Well, we've been teasing it. We've been threatening it. This is it. This is an extra long version of our segment that we would just surprise you with. We just call you randomly on a Thursday or Tuesday night. But now we're just doing it. It's planned. We can see you. The phone, there's no phone issues that we're worrying about.
Kat, do you think it's going to be as good?
I wish everyone could see you because you guys look amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
I was just. Do you think it's going to be as good when you know what's happening? When we're not surprising you during your dinner with a phone call?
I don't know. I feel like we're prepared, but we are Aussies, so we have to be prepared, I guess.
It's like Boy Scouts and Australians. They are prepared, and the less prepared you are, I feel, the better this segment goes. And this segment is the entire episode this time.
That's a lot of pressure.
No pressure, I know.
None at all.
Well, like we do normally, we should throw to the intro. Now, have you guys heard the Ask an Aussie intro yet?
No, because you have asked us not to.
Yes. We've been waiting and we can't wait. We hear it's a masterpiece.
You no longer have to wait, Kid.
Okay.
So Anne.
I mean, it's not weird at all that I'm like I have to be here for this. You have
weird at
no
all.
choice. I hope you're just super honest people and you're like, that was shit.
I'm gonna love it. I just know it. I feel it in my bones.
This is exciting.
Okay.
There it is.
Yes, heard
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
did I
You knew
hear
what-
some
There's
didge?
some didge. Instant.
Didgeridoo don't.
Okay.
Didgeridoo maybe.
Well, I'm a little nervous.
This is
All right,
exciting.
Dan, let him have it.
Vegemite, Lamington, Pavlova, Tim Tam, Hugh Jackman. Outback, not the steakhouse. Kangaroos, didgeridoos, Barbies, boomerangs, Aussie slang, Utes, or cats. Arvo? Let's ask an Aussie. Let's ask an Aussie. We'll ask an Aussie. It's time to ask an Aussie. They'll know, they'll know, they'll know.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Amazing.
You captured the whole entire history of Australia in that intro. That's just amazing.
Worth the wait, right?
Yeah.
It was.
You like
Because you know what? We'll know.
Oh, that's my
but
favorite part.
the whisper, it's like pushing it home is where it was at.
So
the
perfect.
best.
Yay, and that was
Yay.
beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. I
Did you have to look up like a list of Aussie, things, slang, things like that to?
I did. I googled like Australian things, and
So I didn't hear drop bears in there. Was drop bears in there?
No, but we should talk about them.
Okay.
That's definitely coming up.
my Google just heard me say Google, and that
That's
was
adorable.
pulling
Ah.
up Australian
It is
things again.
Halloween time, round Halloween time. So yeah, drop bears.
Oh, they're worst around that time? All right.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Peak season,
Outbreeding.
Ooh, okay.
and when they're breeding.
They're
Yeah,
at
angry.
their most aggressive, I'm assuming.
Oh yes.
Correct.
Should we just go ahead and address the drop bear in the
bear in
room?
the
Drop
room?
bears in the room.
Let's talk
I just
about
want to say I said it first. It was so obvious that three of us said it, but
it.
but
I'll sync
I
it
was
later
first.
so that I
Okay.
say it first.
There you go. I like it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so drop bears. What do we need? What should people know when traveling to Australia in regards to them?
When people talk about the ferocity of some of the animals in Australia, we talk about spiders, snakes, sharks.
Right.
The one thing that they really overlook is drop bears. I think statistically speaking, like if you combine all of the deaths like per year together, the combination of those and the combination of those doesn't even come close to the amount of people that get killed per year by drop bears.
Wow. I was unaware of that statistic. That's
Yeah.
It's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So funnel funnel webs?
Funnel webs, yeah.
Red-
Drop
red
bears
daks.
are more deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you-
Way more deadly.
How do you know that you're in drop bear territory so that you know what, like, are there like signs to look for or?
I'm not exactly sure. I've been lucky enough to not be in a situation where I've had an encounter. Actually, I've encountered all the other animals apart from drop bears, but apparently they fall from branches in trees and
On top of you.
on top of you.
That's-
Yeah,
Right.
And-
Yeah,
So
from
you don't know
what
they're
I've heard,
coming.
the very fact that you are able to talk about drop bears means you've never met with a drop bear.
Yes,
Correct.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't be around to tell the tale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of it's like Area 50. What is it? Is it Area 50? What?
51. Yeah.
Area 51.
Like Area 52
Was it
is like
Studio
what the-
54. Oh, okay. Well, because
Area-
there's
Area
Studio
54
54 and Area 51.
That's
this
right.
is like split the difference. It's Area 53.
No, it's 52 and a half. I
Area
think.
50 oh, okay.
Speedwagon?
52 and a half. Area Speedwagon.
Do you guys know anybody who has been attacked by a drop bear?
No.
No, actually, I don't.
Luckily.
Like,
luckily.
I know the statistics, but yes, it's they're pretty. Apparently,
They're
they're
vicious.
they've been compared with like the Tasmanian devil. obviously the Tasmanian devil, they don't live in trees, I don't believe, but
No.
they attack from above. So yeah,
Death
pretty-
from above.
Like-
Different, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
like,
they're like a mixture of a.
it's like an aggressive, out of sorts koala, larger koala.
Right. Yeah, I've heard they resemble koalas in appearance, which can only, serve to maybe bring people's defenses down if
Yeah.
you were to
Correct.
spot them. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised, Liv, that you haven't seen any because, like, she grew up in this country town called Coonabarabran, and it's near a place called the Warren Bungles, and I believe that there's a lot of
That's all made up.
yeah.
I was gonna say.
It's not
Warren Bungles.
Warren Bungles.
Warren
Is
Bungles.
it's a mountain range.
yeah. Isn't it? There's like a famous.
Everything in Australia sounds made up.
But
it's
isn't
not.
there's a
Is
telescope? there?
Australia even real?
Hey,
There's
you know
no
what?
Australia.
Oh,
You know
no.
what?
Oh no.
I stumbled across this the other day. Someone started a few years ago. Some American. He's on YouTube talking about how Australia doesn't exist.
Oh
wow.
no.
It's a
Really?
hoax.
It's a hoax. Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing. How
There-
so?
I don't know if you've heard of this conspiracy theory that exists that birds aren't real. This is a real conspiracy. I think
Really?
that the QAnon conspiracy lovers and the birds aren't real. I think that Venn diagram is pretty hefty. It's got a pretty
three-
hefty
three
centerpiece.
circles. It's right in the middle.
Right, right. right.
Why do they say that we're making it up that they are real?
I think that what they are saying is that birds are actually spy devices. And that they didn't used to exist before the technology for that type of thing.
No, so
existed.
this makes sense.
Right? Exactly. It's tracks now.
Doesn't-
But are the Aussies supposed to ask the questions?
You know
Yeah,
what?
We're asking the
What's
question.
that? We're
Sorry,
trying to turn the tables.
we could do answer an Aussie.
We
Wow.
go top down under here on the
Yeah.
My Mistake podcast.
Right, we're upside down.
Flip it.
Flip
Flip
it for real.
good.
Well, then let's. Okay, we covered the drop bear
Right.
question.
Drop bear's been covered.
Is should we just go like round robin? Does any of our three non-Aussies have a question?
I found a BuzzFeed list of
Perfect.
22 questions that Twitter has for Australians.
Hell
My
yeah!
goodness.
Okay.
Gold
Wow.
mine.
This is why
Anne.
we employ Anne here.
That's
And by
right.
employ, I mean she's an indentured servant to the My Mistake podcast.
Exactly.
You're a champion. That's
They're
so
like, what are you doing?
She's a legend.
So this was posted on BuzzFeed November 20th of 2017. So it's hot off the presses. We have all the
current.
latest news
Not much has
that's
changed.
Current.
I don't know if we'll go through all of them, but number one, I think we all want to know is why do Australians call it Maccas?
Maccas.
No, Maccas.
Maccas.
Why? Because we abbreviate everything.
We
and
abbreviate
nickname everything. So McDonald's is too long of a word,
They can't be bothered.
clearly.
It's
So it becomes Maccas.
And this is why Australians are so much more productive than anyone else in the world because they abbreviate everything so they get their communication done in half the time.
Correct.
But the thing is, there are certain things that we abbreviate, and there's certain things that we extend. So instead, we like, for instance, names. Your name, John.
Yes.
We call you Jono.
Jono. So you've
Or-
added an entire
or
extra
Fitzy.
syllable
Or-
to my name.
or-
Maybe Fitzy.
Or Fitzo, Fitzy. It's like it's that
I've been
kind
called
of-
Fitzy, but I like Fitzo. If you would call me
Fitzo.
Fitzo from now on, I would.
I will call you
appreciate that.
Fitzo from now on, Fitzo.
Thank you.
It's like a clown.
It's probably one of those things that you think you're being efficient, but then all the words that you extend, your sentence just ends up being the same amount of time,
We're at net
even
zero.
with your abbreviations.
Do Americans still call it Mickey D's?
We do occasionally.
Some people.
Or
Sometimes.
was that a
It's-
generational
if-
thing, do you think, like a past?
In the Midwest, these things persist longer than other places. So there'll be people will call McDonald's Mickey D's, or they'll say I'm going to Target.
Right.
Occasionally, they'll even say I'm going to Jacques Penney. I mean, Anne is
never-
also a fellow
I've never
Midwestern.
called it Jacques Penney.
Jacques Penney? Oh,
No.
no.
I lived in Grand Island, Nebraska for a while. So
Yeah.
and Lincoln, Nebraska, and Boise, Idaho. So
I'm so sorry.
yeah,
Wow.
fun times, good times.
Back to the. I'm not done with this Maccas thing.
Okay,
Okay,
we
good.
saying Mickers.
But where-
Yours.
Maccas?
Mickers.
Maccas.
Maccas, like Mac, not Maccas.
But where does the Mac? I get it for but it's not even. It's McDonald's.
It's
But then you added the cuz at the end. There's no cuz in there.
Maccas.
Well, Big Mac,
Okay.
right? Big Maccas.
Here's an example. I've got a good friend. His name's Justin Langley, and we call him Langers.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
It's a great
McDonald's, Maccas.
Okay.
Right. So I think we've established that typically there will be a syllable and then we add a vowel. Like in my case, I'm Fitzy or Fitzo. And then McDonald's does in fact have an S on the end. It is so
So
you
if you go with an E or a S at the end,
Yeah.
you make it Australian.
Or it's more of a Z.
A Z.
A Z sound.
Not a Z, a Z.
yeah, and Z in American is Z.
So what would you do with In and Out? How would you
In and out is
Aussie that up.
abbreviated enough.
Yeah, in and out.
Would it be inners or outers? Like that's
Inners.
It'd be inners.
yeah.
Definitely inners. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Wow,
love
good
that
question.
place.
We haven't got that in Australia though, so we haven't faced that problem yet of naming.
We are solving the future problems of Australia right here on the My Mistake podcast.
Correct.
I've never questioned the Maccas thing though.
No,
it's just
Maccas.
always been Maccas to
Maccas.
us.
well, it's weird.
I mean, this
Sorry.
is a judgment-free zone.
Yeah,
Ann.
they are
Come
guests.
We tease because we love. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got here? I don't know if any of these are insulting.
Oh no,
This is
you can't
BuzzFeed. This
insult
is
an
not me.
Australian.
Blame Buzz.
very
And I
high
don't even
praise.
know if they all make sense. Why do Australians walk around supermarkets barefoot?
Do we?
They wear,
Not
I thought they wear
always.
flip-flops.
We wear
No.
thongs, but
Thongs, right.
not
We call them
not,
thongs.
not like G-string thongs. We
Mhm.
wear thongs on your feet, which you guys call flip-flops.
That was a
It's very
question
weird
in
that
there.
you wear
Why
underwear on your feet.
so then what do you call thongs?
G-strings.
Oh, okay.
Well-
that tracks.
Oh yeah, thongs are G-strings. Yeah.
Have you either of you ever gone
or
to a
G-bangers.
supermarket in just your
Your thongs.
shoeless?
They-
No, I think. I mean,
Not
it depends
anymore.
on where you're at in Australia.
Maybe
Imagine
back in 2017.
if you're I reckon if you're in a beachy suburb or a beachy town, I guess for sure.
Somewhere on the Gold Coast, maybe Brisbane.
Yeah, maybe Brisbane, somewhere where you
Mhm.
just, come in off the beach and you just scroll into the supermarket and grab a few things and head out and that kind of thing. I could see that happening.
I
Absolutely.
feel like that's universal. I feel like there's some dudes in Malibu that are doing that
Probably.
in the boo.
For
I
sure.
don't think anybody who doesn't own shoes can live in Malibu anymore. Are they even allowed over the border into
Well,
Malibu?
Malibu hipsters who look like homeless people.
But they have tens of millions of dollars. Sure. Okay. Gotcha.
But just to circle back, you're talking about G-strings or thongs. We call those G-bangers, which is kind of the same thing
What?
as the Maccas and the Langers and all this.
Do we call them G-bangers?
G-bangers, absolutely.
Well, Kitch,
What do you think?
Olivia seems to be lodging a
I've
difference of
never heard
opinion
them
here.
called G-bangers.
G-bangers?
No.
I don't know.
know where
Maybe.
you're
Kitch
from.
is just
Maybe it's
Kitch is just
some
fucking with
cool-
us at this point.
Question 3.
I don't know. Not all these are great. So then here's one. Why do Australians say going for a feed as if they're cattle?
Again, it's just colloquial, going for a feed. That's probably more for those that perhaps are in the country, in the rural parts of Australia, where you'd have to add a little more nasality when you say that, Anne. So you'd say, "Oh, I'm going for a feed."
I'm going for a feed.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Well done.
That was good.
Does that mean you're going to go eat?
Yeah, going for a feed. gonna eat something.
I think
Go for some dinner.
it also stems from Kentucky Fried Chicken and the 2-piece feed. So,
That is not a thing that has existed in the United
making
States.
shit up.
That's another thing. Australians make shit up. Well, this one does.
Never trust an Australian.
Or a drop bear. Yeah.
Never trust. I believe you on that.
No.
I have a question, if it's all right, Anne, if I can interject.
Yeah, I'm not going to read all these. These
All
are
right, cool.
shite.
No, I think some of them are fine. Have you seen, Kitch and Olivia, have you seen the movie Rain Man?
Yes.
Because because there's a claim made in Rain Man that, and I don't know if you say Qantas or Qantas, because there's no U, it's just Qantas.
It is Qantas.
Qantas, all right? You just, again, with the Australians, just making communication faster. Just take that U out of there. Why would you need to put one there? You know that a Q is going to sound like qua, right?
There you go.
Yep.
So the claim there is that Raymond, otherwise known as Rain Man, in the movie only will fly on Qantas Airlines. Qantas. Qantas, definitely Qantas. Because it is the only airline that has never had a crash. Can you speak to the veracity of this claim that Qantas has never had a crash?
Well,
as of 30 years ago.
first of all, Liv would like to clear up why it's called Qantas.
Okay.
Do you know what their initials? Do you know what the
I
initials
had no
are?
idea.
What?
No.
Breaking news.
Right?
It's an acronym.
It's like one of the first airlines out of Australia.
Wait, let's try to guess.
No, this will go well.
Quality.
Air.
Koalas?
Koala. How do you spell koala?
Qualas.
I'm kidding you.
Quality unique air numpties
No,
to all spots.
spots. There you go.
Oh, that okay.
Quality.
That's
I'm gonna
amazing.
say
Is it that?
the unique can't
Clearly
be there
that.
though, because there's no U in Qantas.
Quality
Oh, it's just
Quality something numpties.
air
quality air numpties to
Travel.
all
All
spots.
as
So,
served.
so close though.
Ah, all right.
A for effort. So
You forever.
we have in Australia we have states and 2 territories, and one of the states is
Queensland.
Correct.
Oh, it's
and
all
one of
the.
I almost said
it's
Alberta.
all-
and I'm like,
No,
Not all of
wait,
them.
No, it's not.
You're
Okay.
Auckland.
sorry.
And
No, don't say that.
no. And
No,
the
we're
other one
not
is the
New
Northern
Zealand.
Territory. So we have Queens. So it stands for Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services.
Wow.
You had to look that
All
up. You're looking at your
spots.
phone right now.
No, we're not.
I had to
no,
look
she
up.
knows it off the
No,
top of
I
her
had
head.
to look up. I knew the Queensland and Northern Territory. I didn't know whether it was air services or aerial. So that's what I need to double check.
Okay, that is. I had no idea. That is actually. You did break some news there. I don't think anybody
Started
knew
in
that.
Queensland.
I'm going to be
We're
a
just
proud
going to
man.
answer all the questions that anyone could possibly have for
As
Aussie in
far
one
as-
segment.
Go home
That's
and get some
right.
time.
And getting back to John's question of, as far as I know, there still have been no crashes. Kitch's uncle used to
Yeah,
be a pilot,
Proud nephew here. He
Oh,
is.
sweet.
He was the. I
Cool.
believe he was the
longest
serving
Pilot.
pilot for Qantas.
until he recently
And he
retired.
recently retired, and when he retired, he flew and landed
He crashed.
into. They had like water jets over the plane
Oh,
and
that's
everything.
Really?
so sweet.
to
Oh,
beautiful.
signify and everything. So yeah.
Now,
That's
when
amazing.
did your uncle start flying for Qantas? Kitch?
40 years ago from
shit.
3 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. Well, then it's
amazing.
safe
Not
to say
good,
that
yeah.
he never crashed a Qantas
No.
plane.
No, he did
However,
Uh-oh.
between 1927
Oh, no.
and 1951,
Oh, Google.
100 people perished in Qantas aircrafts. None
That was
of them.
because
Did
of
they
the airline
crash?
food.
What's that?
Were they because of crashes, or were they still parked and they just exploded?
Yes, that's what. No. These
Drop
were
bear
all
attack?
planes that crashed. However, they were not jet airliners. These were like single engine planes, or they were all prop planes. So probably regional aircraft
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Which is what we're harking back to the beginning of the airline when it would have just been domestic back in the
Sure.
20s, 30s, whatever, and there would have been much smaller planes. So that I would totally believe.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a gotcha. I like to think that we're asking questions in good faith that we want to get answers from you. I had cheated there. I cribbed from
You're
the
a cruel
internet.
man.
Wow, man. Like, way to bring it down.
You know?
Like a
Sometimes
plane.
Fitzo has to
Fitzo,
bring the
Fitzo.
cruelty.
Not unlike
Not happy fit, so.
Andy, have one?
Why do Australians call ice cream floats spiders?
I have no idea.
No idea.
But-
That's such a good question.
But that is a thing. You got you.
It is
Yeah,
a thing.
absolutely. We
We
call
call
them
them
spiders. In actual fact, Leah, on my first birthday in the States, living in the States here in LA,
Yeah, my wife, who I'm married to.
Leah,
That's the
your
one.
wife,
Taco dog?
she asked me, Kitch, what do you want?
AKA
For your-"
Taco.
Yeah, she asked me, what do you want for your birthday, Kitch? And I was like, I want a root beer float. And I called it a root beer float because I
That's
was
what you're
being
doing,
American. But what inside I was really saying, I want
What
a
you
root
really
beer
wanted.
Spider. I don't know. That would have to be something that would need to be Googled.
Oh, I have a theory.
Oh, please do.
Okay, so when you have a Coke, like
It's gonna be good.
Australian Coke, I don't know if sugarcane Coke, Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
We call it Mexican Coke here in California.
Mexican Coke. Yep. So if you put ice cream into it, it creates bubbles,
Right?
and the bubbles kind of make a web texture, and it could be due to the. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
That's the best theory I've ever heard about that particular.
According to the Goog, in Australia and New Zealand, an ice cream float is known as a spider because once the carbonation hits the ice cream, it forms a spider-like web reaction.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Ding,
Yes.
ding, ding. Ba, 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 bam.
If I had a
Catch.
mic, I would drop it, but I don't.
But you know better because mics are expensive.
Yes,
You know better than that.
I know that very much so.
Wow. Well done. See, look, we're like, this is so educational.
That was a
right
good
now.
question.
think
That's
you-
my
I
favorite
think-
so far, I think.
I think if you listen to this particular episode, it does count as college credits. So let's just get that
Yes.
out there.
I'll print some stuff off. It's fine.
Yeah, that's great.
This is,
I
Bless
can
you,
make
Anne.
a certificate like nobody's business.
Anne has not had valid car insurance for 20 years. I'm just saying, she's excellent with Photoshop, and
Yeah.
Did not
My- you should see
graduate
my
high
ID.
school.
as far as we know,
This question, first I'll just say, what is chicken salt?
It's salt that is chicken flavored.
Well, that's pretty self-explanatory.
I feel like it's just what we in the U.S. we call it Lowry's seasoning salt. I feel like
Why
that's
wouldn't
what
you
it
just
is.
call it chicken salt?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not very
I
chicken.
don't think
flavored.
Lowry's is chickeny.
No,
I,
all
It's
I,
spicy.
I mean,
red.
I have a certain feeling that maybe chicken salt. Does it have actual chicken in it? That's my
I
question.
would have to look at that,
So it does that.
whether it's artificial or not, but it does definitely taste chickeny.
It's
The
Yeah,
question was, why do Australians put chicken salt on everything? But now that we know what chicken salt is, we know the answer is because it's delicious.
Because it's
delicious.
amazing,
I need
right?
some chicken
Yeah.
salt up in this bitch.
Delicious.
I think
But
we
it-
have
but-
it. It's like pollo something.
Pollo salto or
Yeah.
El pollo de salto.
oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh. I don't know.
We don't put it on everything.
We don't put
That's
it on
a little
everything.
bit exaggerated.
Maybe you
but
should.
Okay.
Do you put it on your
Some hot
spiders?
chips.
I was going
But
to
it
say
is-
shine on a spider.
It is
on
a
hot
thing.
chips.
Hot chips is a fries. Putting it on fries is a thing.
Sounds really good.
We call it
Wait,
hot
do
chips,
you
so-
have a chicken salt flavored chip there?
Oh,
Yeah.
like a crisp.
Oh,
There might
They call
be.
it?
no, actually, recently, when I say recently, in the last like 6 years, I'd say, there was a bit of a thing going on in Australia where they had Smith's Chips, the brand, where they started creating all these different flavors of chips. And they went through and they did like Vegemite, cheese and
Wow.
Vegemite. I think they did. They did gravy flavored chips.
Okay.
Now, what is gravy? Is
oh.
gravy actual gray, like what?
Yeah.
Because
It's a good
here's
question.
the thing. Well, because I have
Could be wacky.
I have friends who are Italian who live in New Jersey, and when they say gravy, they mean like marinara sauce, and I don't.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
No, this is like the brown stuff that
like
you
the brown.
pour over
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I've
Christmas
made it,
and
yeah.
Thanksgiving and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I previously thought that Canadians led the world in potato chip or crisp technology
God bless them.
because they have the all-dressed chips and ketchup flavored chips as well.
They have what
Oh.
other ones do they have, Ann? I know that you're.
Oh
a
yeah,
fan.
we had the ketchup one.
I wasn't paying attention. I was Googling something for my next question.
Let's do that.
I wasn't ready to. Okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
What do you
You're doing
call this? I'm setting up my own questions now,
Mm.
but it's based off of this. What do you call those?
Tracky daks.
Track it out.
That's
Why?
adorable.
Okay.
Because they're tracksuit. So it's a so what you would call what Americans would call a sweatsuit, sweatpants, sweat top, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
We
we don't call it a
call-
sweat top, but okay.
There's no sweat top in America.
There's no sweat
No,
top.
no
It's not
sweat.
fancy.
Sweatshirt.
Um,
Sweat top.
we would call tracksuit,
Okay.
and so tracksuit pants become tracky daks. So tracksuit
Again,
tracky
shortening.
You know,
shortening.
I could accept tracky slacks, but tracky daks, right?
Check it out.
because
But
I can't be sure on this, but
Mhm.
tracky is clearly from tracksuit or
Right.
track part of.
That part
Tracky-
makes
And
sense.
tracksuit
Now-
works in the U.S. You can call that a tracksuit, and people will know what you're talking about.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like high end sweat. Like that's a high end.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just
Sweats.
any kind of sweat. Now, the daks could
Mhm.
come
oh,
from
yeah.
the fact that when you are wearing tracksuit pants, there is something that in Australia, I think you guys would call it something different. But when you come up unexpectedly up to someone and you pull their pants down, it's like a college prank or high
Not
school
funny.
or something.
It's called
Cool.
dacking
And
someone.
we call that dacking someone.
We literally call it pantsing,
Pantsing someone,
I-
which
Okay,
makes
we
it
call
the
it
same
dacking.
word because we call them track pants.
But here's the thing:
you call
pants are very different to what we think of as pants here, right? I mean, or is that just a UK thing? Are pants underwear or are pants like
No.
slacks?
Panties are underwear.
No, I hate
Okay.
the word panty.
The way to make it panties.
It's Australian undies.
Panties.
We
Undies.
say
Okay.
undies. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Because the
Undergarment.
Brits,
How do you
if
get
you say
that?
pants, that means underwear to them.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
here's
that's
something.
not true in Australia.
Here's something. I'm going to just slide the computer back a little bit here because I
Wait, are you going to show us
Are you going to
No, no,
Jackie
pants.
Chance us?
Are you gonna Are you gonna
That's-
dax yourself?
Puma?
Okay. Can
Wait,
you
but
pronounce
wait,
that
I'm
again?
glad it's not.
Pronounce it very,
Adidas.
very slowly.
I will say Puma, but I'm going to guess
Okay.
that you're going to say Puma.
Okay, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So I got these Puma pants, as we call them in Australia, Puma.
Right?
I'm not actually sure if the correct pronunciation is Puma, but I don't. It's not. Okay, there we go. It's not.
No, wait.
but-
I have heard David Attenborough refer to that animal as a puma, and David Attenborough can do no wrong, so I will say you are correct. That is the correct pronunciation.
There we go.
love him so much.
So the thing
Miriam.
is, the way that I look at it is that somewhere in the world made me Puma pants.
Good night, everybody.
You're going to leave on a
Thanks,
high
I'll
note.
be,
Thank you
I'll
very
be here all
much.
week. Table 16, your steak's ready.
I love you and your tired joke.
Yeah.
I love you so much, Kitch.
Puma
How can you not?
pants.
You're
Love
the
you, cat.
best.
But so the tracky daks could be the fact that when you're wearing tracksuit pants, because they have no belt, you're not wearing a belt, they're elasticized, they're easily you can pants the person, I guess, in your language.
Or dack them.
Or dack
That is the
them.
verb in
But
that
where does,
could be-
where does Dak come from? Why,
That's what
why
I'm
is-
saying, the dak. That could be the dacky part, the tracky daks.
Yeah.
It could be
Chicken
the
or-
fact
but
that
it's
you
chicken
can
or the
dack
egg at this
someone in
point.
them.
Right. Yeah, she's saying where does the pantsing? It makes sense how you could be pantsed,
Sure,
right? Because
or
those are
daxed.
pants.
Oh, but where
But
does
how
the
do you be
actual-
how are you daxed? What are
No idea.
Yeah,
So
where in
what-
the circle of
And
pantsing does that
looking it
happen?
up.
Well, the
my question-
Wiktionary says that daks is Australian slang for trousers or underwear.
Oh, they can be right.
Oh, yeah,
Why,
dax, yeah.
Anne? Why?
Oh
So
yeah,
it's essentially the same thing.
Or you
Same
can
pants.
crap your daks.
Oh well.
Don't grab your dax.
I just
Can
remembered that
you Puma
expression.
pants though?
Pull your tracky daks. And
Okay, let's move on to another question.
At this
We
point,
could be
we're
talking about this for 20 minutes.
we're in ripe territory to get into
You can cut all
uh,
this out.
into the poop
No, no,
knife.
no.
It's-
This is
if you
staying.
make me write a poop talk theme song, oh,
I'm
Wow.
gonna have
Pants.
to.
way to
No.
step in it, Anne.
I think you're right, and so it's because they're called pants. Daks
Yeah,
are pants.
daks are pants,
So tracky,
yeah.
Okay, let's
tracky
move
daks.
on. This doesn't make any sense.
I
You're
think
not
that's
gonna
all I
explain.
have from this list
We're
that's
weird.
worth talking about.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So,
Bring it on, Kat.
Oh, look at
uh,
that. We've run out of time.
How dare you? So, most of the world refers to Australia as down under.
Mm-hmm.
Does Australia refer to other countries as up over?
No,
And if not, why not?
I don't
not?
know
I
why
think
we
we don't.
don't. We just don't.
Nope.
Okay, that's all I
Up
got.
over. Okay, sorry to flatten that one.
You confirmed that the water spins the other direction in the toilet, but
We
have
got
no
that. Yeah,
idea
covered that.
why. No,
Well,
yeah.
that joke didn't land. Okay, let's move on.
I can put in a laugh track later on. It's
No,
fine.
please
Oh,
don't.
wow.
Just you don't need to do that.
So condescending.
Okay, so no joke. When Olivia and Kitch first moved to Los Angeles, to the States, they stayed with Leah, who I'm married to because she's my wife, and I. That you guys came and lived with us for a little bit, and it was the cleanest our house has ever been. You guys are such good house guests. We were so sad that you left.
We were stoked to stay with you. It was awesome.
And now, Kitch, you had lived in the States previously, and Olivia, you had visited many times. That's how you first met Leah, who is my wife I'm married to. But when you did finally move here to live full time, what was the biggest culture shock when you found yourself living in Los Angeles amongst the crazies?
There were so many things.
Just a really basic thing, because when obviously you move to a new place, you got to set up a new bank accounts, all that kind of just regular day-to-day stuff that needs to happen. We set up our bank accounts, and we got a checkbook, and I'd never used a checkbook before.
You probably spell check CHEQUE.
Correct.
Yes. We have technology in Australia. A thing called technology.
This is good to know. This is good to know. But it's
so-
something beyond the boomerang.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, but it was that was, I guess, in general. I found that the I guess a lot of things here was rather antiquated, which was really surprised me for such a a country that really is at the forefront of so many other things. I was really surprised where a lot of technology was, I don't know, a little bit behind the eight ball, I felt. Because we had, electronic banking, we've had that for a long time in Australia. And I remember my mum using a check to pay for groceries in the 80s when I was little. And that's the last time I remember seeing a checkbook. And so when I had to learn to use one here, I was like, what do I write here? And what do I do? I literally had to look up how to fill out a check.
Wow.
Because I'd never used one before. So that was surprising, just how a little behind America was in some things, not all things, but just in a few things. And it's funny, I was explained by an American in a bank where they said that because our population is so huge, when they change one thing in infrastructure in any way, they need to change it across the board, across the country, whatever that company is. If they need to change any kind of computer system, it's costly. And so that's why they hold off until they're forced.
Oh yeah, the chip and pin, right? Like which has been in the UK and other Commonwealth nations for a very long time. Was only introduced here, I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago, where we started getting the chips on our credit cards and debit cards.
Yeah.
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 That's not the same as fish and chips, but
I was
it's
going to say
chip and pin.
crisps.
Yeah.
But
Crisps
yeah,
and pin. Yeah.
that was one thing that was a little weird. But
Yeah.
that's okay. You're catching up. You're getting there.
Sure.
What is the weirdest food we have here that you've come across so far that you think is weird?
Weirdest food.
Things.
Oh,
Oh.
I've never had it, but biscuits and gravy.
Oh, no.
seem-
That's the best
good.
food. That's the best food.
Is it the best?
Oh my God, it's so good.
He's had it. He's lived in the Midwest.
You lived in Nebraska and Boise, Idaho. So yeah,
in Boise, Idaho, I used to go to this place and have biscuits and gravy all the time, and I love it.
Seems
It's just so indulgent.
It's something sweet, right? With
No.
okay,
No. It's like scones.
savory.
It's like a
Yeah, imagine a scone with a savory gravy.
Buttery.
spread
Like a white
yeah.
gravy. And it's like got chunks of meat in it. And you wouldn't like it.
And you're not a fan, eh?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I love it too. Yeah.
So good.
You can feel it clogging your arteries as
I
you
can't.
eat it. It's
I've since turned gluten-free and dairy-free, so it's not.
It would kill you.
But it would kill me. But I did
Your
love it.
ass
back
would
in the day.
explode.
Yeah. But yeah, weird.
Well, we have a question from a listener.
oh,
Oh,
you
hey.
should hit that.
This is from our actually a guest and regular
Friend of the pod.
contributor. She is a friend of the pod.
She is.
It's Master Chief Jen.
Master Chief Jen.
Master Chief Jet.
And
Jenno.
this is Jen's question for you Aussies. What the fuck is up with postage to Australia?
Oh my God.
Why
yeah.
is it so expensive, guys? What the fuck is
Crazy.
going on?
You know what? It's gotten worse since the pandemic. I think it's maybe come down a little bit again, but I think that was perhaps worldwide with getting, the shipping and all the cargo ships being stuck in various harbors around the world and not able to unpack their loot. Australian Post has always been crazy, just a little more expensive than everywhere else. I think maybe it's the distance that it perhaps has to go. That would be my guess.
That makes sense.
But what's the
But I know it's stupid. I'm
the
sorry.
American Post, the U.S. Postal Service? What is it that it's guaranteed to get somewhere at some point in time or something?
Maybe.
Maybe.
The U.S. Postal Service is underwritten by the U.S. government, so your postage, no matter how far within the United States it is moving, it costs the same. So you can't and this is one of the things I think Master Chief Jan was stationed in Alaska.
Oh,
Wow.
Which is pretty far from places in the lower 48, especially places where she lives, where she has lived in the southeast and northeast of the United States. And she was commenting about how much more it was to ship something to Australia when it probably really wasn't that much further than to go from an island in Alaska all the way down to Florida, right?
yeah. So the thing is, something that I loved when I first came to the States was free refills of drinks. So I think the money that they spend on free refills, maybe Australia doesn't spend that money, and that's like it kind of equates.
I like this. This is how the scales balance.
It's how the scales balance. So I think that's it. Because free
theory.
refills. That's great.
Are portions generally bigger in the States?
Oh my God, they're
Yes.
massive. And the menus are massive. Like the Cheesecake Factory, it takes me half an hour to order.
This is not
Because
fair.
it's just
The
you go
Cheesecake
through-
Factory is not a typical American restaurant.
No. Every place that I've been to has at least like 5 pages of the menu.
Sure.
Whereas in Australia, most restaurants is just like a single back and front page. And that's usually all alcohol. So I don't know what that says about Australia.
Bless the Australians.
Yeah.
So, well, while we're speaking of beverages, though, I do have a question. How would you compare?
Foster's again?
No, this is not
Oh, okay.
Foster's. I don't repeat myself, Kat.
That's hilarious.
I mean, when people know that when people have listened to it before, how would you compare Australian coffee to American coffee?
Oh.
Australian coffee is really good. It's really good.
Would you say that much like Monty Python said about American beer, that American coffee is fucking close to water? It's like making love in a canoe.
It's American coffee in comparison to Australian coffee. It's actually good though, because whenever we go back to visit, and I find myself at a cafe, and I have a cup of coffee, and I end up having like a moment, and Liv like looks at me and goes, "Are you all right?" And then says, "I'll have what he's having." So
Nice.
I don't drink coffee, so I can't weigh in on this, but I have heard for many decades that even way back that Americans aren't known for their great coffee.
I mean, we're not known for a lot of things.
Sorry. I hate to diss on it because we live here, we love it. But
when Liv and I started dating, she was working at a coffee place in Sydney, and she was making up around 1,000 coffees a day.
Oh wow! I can understand why you wouldn't drink coffee after that.
And she made an amazing coffee and an incredible hot chocolate. Because I could only have so many coffees, I had to resort to the hot chocolate. So.
Why do I feel like it should be called a choco or a chucky?
What we got? We have that.
Just a hot choc would be
hot choc.
All right, there we are.
So cute.
Yeah.
And I know, Kitch, I know coffee is very important to you. You have this whole elaborate setup. It's like a chemist lab in your kitchen. It's very important to you.
I love coffee.
Do you have like the glass beaker thing?
No, I don't do that. I've got an espresso machine, but I love it. So it's the best.
I use Folgers Instant
Oh, don't do that.
in a tea kettle.
Actually, one of my favorite coffees is actually from Seattle, a place called Lighthouse Roasters. And went on to Lighthouse Roasters when I was touring one time. And apparently, like Dave Matthews goes there a bit to get his coffee and stuff. But
Yeah, it's probably still
drop
good.
a name.
I never met him.
I've heard about Dave Matthews dropped something from his bus that was not so great in the Chicago area.
Oh, dearie. Hey, did he?
He didn't do it himself, but apparently the driver of the bus did empty the septic tank of the bus while on a bridge, not realizing it was a double-decker bridge, and it did fall through onto the cars underneath.
Oh, I'm glad it didn't crash into me.
I see what you did there.
Kitch. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Was it a Dunny double-decker double dipper?
Nice.
Double-decker Dunny Dipper.
Wow.
Speaking of dropping names, who is the biggest star to come out of Australia? Who is your biggest star?
Well, not necessarily to come out, but who's the biggest star? Who is considered the biggest star in
Olivia
Australia?
Newton-John, I reckon is up there.
Kylie?
Nicole Kidman.
Kylie, of course.
There's a few. I don't know if there's the biggest, but
who?
I mean, there's Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, Hugh Jackman, Dame Edna.
That's a callback, by the way.
Fucking royalty.
Right?
There's Errol
Is she
Flynn.
still alive? Is Dame Edna still with us? Dame
Edna. Yes,
Yeah.
she
Is she
is.
still around? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank God.
I thought you were talking about Nicole Kidman. I'm like, what did I miss?
Michael Hutchins.
Michael Hutchins,
Michael Hutchins,
from INXS, the whole of INXS,
Yeah.
There's
Bee Gees. I mean,
The Bee Gees, the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson.
Oh, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth,
totally
Kat
planted
Dennis.
that one.
Uh-huh.
Sam Neill.
See, this is the thing where there's a few Kiwi-born stars
Right.
that then
Oh, yeah,
moved
there
to
is.
Australia and call them, and there are both Australian and New Zealand citizens. So Keith Urban is one.
Right.
No,
the guy that
He grew
punches
up
everybody.
in New Zealand
No,
for the
no,
first
no.
part of his childhood.
No, he was in Bundaberg.
Yes, that's later, Boodle. He was later.
Okay. She
But
calls
he
me
did-
Boodle, by the way.
And so that was later. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, the
Crowe.
guy that punches everybody. Yeah.
Yahoo
Guy
Serious.
from Crowded House.
So a lot of Australian, we would kind of claim them as Kiwi when it's convenient. When Russell Crowe threw a phone at a concierge, he was Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Right.
All the way through and
Oscar,
through.
he's
He's Australian.
Right.
So
right.
when it's
But-
convenient,
but
we'll
in-
take him.
In your world, John, Tim Minchin, he's probably...
Thank you.
he's-
I'm a huge fan of Tim Minchin, even more than of Yahoo Serious, which I don't even know if do you know who Yahoo Serious? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I wasn't. I mentioned the name and I didn't get a response, and I'm like, oh, am I that old? Do people not remember Yahoo Serious?
How can you forget?
Love it. Well,
Yahoo!
yeah.
And is not your,
Yeah.
I
Who the
went
fuck
and
is that? Is that
I
what you
went
say?
and saw his movie in the theater. My mom took me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. So
terrible.
if someone were to give someone, say, as a means of storing something, if someone offered you, oh, would you like a fanny pack?
No.
No? Would that be wrong in Australia to say that?
You'd get a laugh. You would.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
More than I got here, I might add.
Fanny means...
Tough
Fanny
crowd.
doesn't mean bum.
Mm.
Mean arse, or however you pronounce it, arse. It means ladies' private parts. So
Gotcha.
fanny
bits.
is a fanny pack is kind of a bit weird.
I'll take a fanny pack. It's fine.
Hell
Take
yeah.
one?
High five.
Fanny packs not good in Australia.
It's
I
something
mean,
you
it could be
yeah.
good if it's done well.
If it's done well.
I'm sorry, that was rude and
No,
crude
because
and
you do hear it, like you have American tourists, obviously, head down
Sure.
to Australia, and
We call them bum bags.
we call them bum bags.
Yeah.
Because
right.
they're a bag and they sit it in your bum, like fanny. You'd say fanny, but we say bum.
Sure.
So bum bag.
See, now what I picture when I hear bum bag is a bindle stiff, which is where a hobo would have a stick.
Excuse me?
Yes, exactly, right? He would have a stick. And what's funny is bindle stiff sounds Australian to me.
It does.
But you have a stick over your shoulder with a handkerchief tied to the end with your belongings inside the handkerchief. This is a common image in
No, yes, I know that image, but in Australia we'd call that a swag.
A swag, yeah.
a swag. All right.
Oh no, swag's kind of like
So
a
elegant.
bag over
How
your
much
shoulder.
could you really fit in a bandana?
Exactly. I mean, but hobos,
then,
as they
you
were
didn't really-
sometimes called,
Yeah, you
they
didn't
didn't
really
have a
have
lot of possessions.
Yeah.
I know.
They were
like
riding
not
the
even
rails.
like a banana or a piece
like
of fruit.
like
Like,
a
they can't
cup,
fit much
maybe.
in there.
A lighter,
Like
if
just
you're
a-
lucky.
We would put a
Bob.
banana in there. We wouldn't put a banana in there. We'd put
Banana.
That was
Banana.
a question from BuzzFeed.
Oh, it was.
Banana.
What else do we mispronounce horribly?
Yeah.
Oh my God, where do we start?
Like
At the
that
at the
striped
beginning.
horse that lives in Africa, not in Australia.
Zebra.
Is that
Zebra.
okay? Zebra.
Yes.
Zebra.
But things like, the one that gets me is SPITE. How do you pronounce that?
Spite.
Okay, RESPITE. How do you
Respite.
Why? Why?
No idea.
But why though?
Because it's correct. That's why.
It's just, but then there are words that I think that Australians pronounce incorrectly.
Of course, because language is not. There is no gold standard of what language is correct. It's what things mean to the listener, not
And
to
English
to the
is
speaker.
the most fucked of all the languages.
Yeah.
So many contradictions.
Kat, you only say that because that's the only language you know. I'll bet there are other languages that are almost equally as fucked, but you just don't speak them.
There are plenty of, second language English speakers who will tell you that English is the hardest language to learn because it's completely inconsistent.
Those people are not German. because German and English apparently are like the easiest languages to go back and forth between, especially if you start with German.
Hey, John, fuck the Germans.
I
There are no Germans here.
I mean, I am a fourth German.
I think I'm part
Like I
German
said,
too. I
fuck
mean, it's fine.
Fuck all y'all.
So which quarter German are you?
Well, it may be as much as half, because
okay.
On my maternal grandmother and grandfather, my grandmother's maiden name was Hess, which you really can't trace to anything other than Germany.
Other than Germany, yeah.
And my grandfather's last name was Mark.
Okay.
Now, the story went that my grandfather Mark was from Scotland, but I only, in the last year of my mother's life where we were discussing it, she admitted the possibility that they might have only lived in Scotland for a year or two after emigrating from Germany. So, and it makes sense. The money in Germany before everything went to the euro, it was the mark.
Mark.
The
yeah.
Deutschmark. The
Deutschmark. Yeah.
Yep.
This is something that's very different in Australia. Is that and I kind of love it in a way that Americans do identify their ancestry as feeling, when you say I'm a quarter this or I'm a half. It's Australians. For instance, Liv is full-blown Australian. However, her dad was born in Scotland.
So I could say I'm half Scottish,
Right.
but I would know.
But you wouldn't, because you identify as Australian.
I identify as Australian, but it's a quirky little Americanism thing where
That's kind of cool.
where a lot of Americans identify. It's like they're quick. So, for example, this happened at just our local little village mart thing, and I was there getting some probably alcohol, I'd imagine.
What?
What? And the guy behind the counter was Irish, and a guy in front of me that came up to the counter said, I'm Irish too. And the guy behind
in
the
a full
counter
Australian
said,
accent?
no, he had a full.
American?
The guy behind the counter said, "Oh, really? Where are you from in Ireland?" Because he also was from Ireland, and he said, "Oh no, I know. I'm not from Ireland.
Right.
Never been. I don't know.
I've never been.
I'm in Studio City.
I'm just from Ireland." So it's this very just a different way of their identity.
Did the conversation not go on to, well, when was the last time you were there? I actually haven't visited.
Never been. Never gonna go.
With a name like Fitzgerald, I've never been to Ireland.
Oh my God! Oh, there we go. Okay.
But I'm sure. But this is the thing. In some way, it's a funny kind of as a non-American living here. It was a funny thing to try and wrap your head around, as far as because generally speaking, Americans are very patriotic people.
Sure.
Flags flying out the front of people's houses. You never see that in Australia unless it's coming up to a national holiday or something. You never see flags permanently positioned outside of houses. But so I think of America as a patriotic country. However, a lot of I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of Americans tend, and this is no criticism, tend to be very quick to jump on, oh, I'm Irish, I'm Italian, I'm German, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah. We're a melting pot, but we only melt so much.
Only when it's convenient for us.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's just an interesting take, because I would never say that I'm Scottish, even though I'm half Scottish.
Yeah,
I would say I'm Australian with Scottish ancestry.
Right.
That's how I would word it.
Yeah.
If someone was.
And I'm just Australian.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, no, my ancestry my ancestry goes back all the way to the days of the Knights of the Round Table. So the Membery name is one of the oldest names in the business, but it's changed over time. So it's like
Sounds like you're very aware of your heritage, and
I'm aware of my heritage,
and
but
still identify somewhat with it.
I would be too if I could track my lineage back to the Round Table. That's all I would talk about.
I'm related to Knights Templar.
pretty bad.
Uncle Arthur pulled this out of the stuff.
Uncle Arthur. You know, he was Welsh, right?
It was Welsh, I think.
King Arthur was Welsh.
Oh, by the way, I am a quarter Welsh.
Of course you are.
Oh, there we go.
Do you say
You're quarter
Kate,
everything, John.
Kat, do you say? I just called you Kate. Oh my God, Kat.
Yes,
did that come from?
Olivia.
Do you say that because your mother is Welsh?
Yes.
She is. That's true.
Do you say that you are? Where do you? Does that? How do you identify as far as your, cultural and nationality and stuff? Do you say, like, how does it come out for you? So
T.O. Strong.
yeah. Do you say that you're half Welsh?
I identify very much as American.
Right.
But if we get into a deeper conversation, sure. Like, oh well, my mom is Welsh, my dad's French Creole, and we can get into it.
Right.
But when I'm marking off, pick
a box.
what's it called? Census, whatever. Very much American, very much white. Even though, like, technically I'm not 100% white. I'm definitely identify as white and American.
It's good because you look.
I'm very white looking. But no, I don't go around saying, oh, hey, I'm Welsh. Fuck yeah. Because I'm not. Like, even my mom, now that it's so goddamn easy to get DNA tests done, my mom is actually not mostly Welsh.
Really?
Oh, wow.
She's actually mostly English, and it's very upsetting to her.
Yeah, I was about to say, how did she feel about that?
A little bit of Irish, some Welsh, but like very much English. Yeah, she's not thrilled about it.
Oh, we miss you, folks. We haven't seen them in
I know,
forever.
it's been a minute.
Give
And actually, there's a lot of Scottish in there too. It's basically all UK. We're just like a tour. We can go on a tour and hit all the Bowman lineage.
Nice.
Yeah, good times.
There you go.
And
How did we get off of Australia?
And how about
know.
you? Well, let's talk about lineage. So you said you got a little German.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I'm like German via Russia,
Nice.
but my surname was like my great grandfather came from Russia, yeah, but was German, and they changed our last name at Ellis Island. It was Hixt, and they changed it to Hicks.
As is proper.
I like that spelling.
X.
Hixt.
Wow, with an X in it.
That's
Yeah.
a good band name.
Right?
So no Australian
No,
blood.
not that I know.
Yeah, how much percentage is Australian there? Yeah.
I'm like on Amazon. I'm like, I've been wanting to do a DNA test for like the longest time.
I can't bring myself to do it. I can't.
Why?
I'm like, well, because if you read the fine print
Oh, I see.
and you do the 23andMe, they essentially own your genetic fingerprint.
That's
right? Like,
awesome. Because then if you're like, if there's a serial killer, we can
the
track
Golden
you
State
down.
Killer. The Golden
Yes.
State Killer was apprehended
Are you kidding?
because.
If my DNA helped find a serial killer, I would be all over that shit.
What if I'm the serial killer and I don't want to get
Then
caught?
I'm turning you in.
I
There's
see.
a reason I haven't had children. I need to make sure they don't do 23andMe and get me caught.
Yeah, so many awkward Christmases now because of 23andMe.
I just don't know if I want to do that, just the regular DNA, or if I want to do that one that tells you your health too. Because like that freaks me out. Because like,
Sure.
do you want to know if you have a
Cannibal.
Yeah.
No, because then I'd
I
freak
think
out
you
about
do.
it forever.
And I believe with 23andMe, they reserve the right to sell that information to your insurance company. So you
Oh,
can actually
that's
get
not
your
cool.
rates raised if you have like a BRCA or some
pre-existing
pre-existing
chance of
genetic
something.
condition.
That's some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Oh,
I
could
just
be
want to
wrong
know
about
if
that
I'm
one.
part Pomeranian or part Lhasa. So that's all I want to know.
You know, you had me going with Pomeranian because I'm like that really was a place at one time. But yeah, no, last option.
I mean, you're as cute as a button, so I
I
wouldn't be
know, and
surprised.
I'm
No.
short. It's got to be one of those stubby dogs.
Aw.
You know what I want to hear though. I just realized I would love to hear a Kitch and Hicks-Bleecker collaboration.
Ooh, that's
like-
oh my
interesting.
God, we should do
Right?
this. We should get in the studio, We should lay down some tracks. We should. Yeah. This should happen.
Lay
Well,
down
listen,
tracks.
I mean, honestly, I think it's time that the My Mistake theme has lyrics.
Ooh.
There we go.
So if
yeah.
you wanted to tackle that.
Doesn't have lyrics yet.
No pressure whatsoever, but on air, you've just been challenged.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, so let me just think about that.
I'll put aside some time in my diary and we'll work towards that. Sounds amazing.
I love it. I love it. Gauntlets being thrown, people.
Indeed.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Pew, pew, pew. Any more questions for the Aussies? We covered so much. We can always do this again.
Absolutely, we can.
I feel we should.
Any questions for the Americans?
Why?
It's a great question.
Just generally why? No.
No.
I just ran across one thing that I have to look at because I didn't realize that. And this is, Kitch, you have often referred to me as champion, and I've always enjoyed it every time.
Yeah.
But what I see here is that and it's the word champ. Is there a distinction between champ and champion in Australia?
No, there's no distinction. They're both exactly the same. There's a few names that I like to call people. Americans a lot of time say dude.
Yeah.
But I like to give the name, the well-deserved name to those people that I care about.
Right. I've heard legend and champion, and I have treasured both of these. I just looked in my Australian English military slang glossary, and it says that champ is derogatory.
No.
In the military dictionary.
No, that's wrong. Champion is nothing.
I choose to believe you, Kitch.
But is it champ versus champion? Does champ, is that short for something else?
Well, I will say in English, American English, champ can be derogatory. It's like,
and especially in the Winona Earp.
I don't think I would ever say
Really?
champ.
Is
Anyway,
derogatory.
I would say
you've always said
word
champion. Yeah. Yeah.
And but champion and legend, you are a champion. You guys are all champions. You guys are all legends. And yes, that's the biggest compliment coming from my mouth when I call you.
I've always taken it that way.
That means you are.
Because of you, Kitch, those two words are in my dictionary. Like when someone has done something exceptional, they are a legend, they are a champion. Normally, it's you, Kitch, that I call a legend or a champion because you have saved my ass.
You are.
Even this week, I'm editing a podcast. I put at least
Is it this podcast, Kat?
No. I put about an hour and a half into this, and there was we had a guest. It's a podcast that John doesn't like me to talk about. We had a guest.
Shall remain unnamed.
And I had put about an hour and a half into this podcast, and all of a sudden, tragedy strikes. Something's wrong. Something horrible has gone wrong. It's the middle of the day, work day. Kitch is a very busy man. He's very busy.
I try to be.
And I said, I text, hey, Kitch, I just emailed you some specifics. I got a problem. I need your help immediately. He's like, cool, share your computer with me. So we're on. He takes 10 minutes out of his day. He figures out the problem. He saves me.
Champion.
Kitch, you saved. How many times has this happened? So many times.
I remember it happening at 2 or 3 in the morning once when we were struggling to get an episode out. I only heard about it after the fact, but
this is what I like.
You saved me. I sent something to Kat, and she's like,
that's
"I'll
right.
send it to Kitch."
The audio level one. Yep, yeah, I remember that. No, this is the thing. My people get my full attention, and I love to help out the champions and the legends as well.
Kitch, you're a champion. You're the most legendary champion I know.
100%.
You are.
The champion legend.
And you are.
And you know who else it is? Olivia. How many times, Olivia, have we?
I do jack shit.
No,
The long-suffering Olivia.
I need you to come over and watch the dog, please, Olivia. Yeah, two exceptional people, Olivia and Kitch. Absolutely.
100%.
Well, we love you guys, and we think you're your podcast is the best podcast in the world. And
Okay, now I'm questioning everything.
Your veracity is waning.
no,
Australians be crazy.
my mistake forever. I'm thinking
some
about getting a
crazy
tattoo.
shit.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
That I want to see. We will post Kitch's My Mistake tattoo.
It'll
as
be
soon
next
as
to
it-
my what is it? John Bovey tattoo.
What's that?
John
Bon Jovi. I like John Bovey. Get that.
I know.
John Bovey too.
It's like a little bovine. I liked it.
It's a cow
100%.
with big
No.
hair.
I can't think of anyone who we could do what we've done, which is just call you out of the sheer blue, like especially the very first time. And you were game. You were there. You were ready to play, with no advanced warning. And you've always been great sports.
Liv thinks I'm like a squirrel, or a dog to a squirrel. Like I just get overexcited when you guys call. When I see your names on my phone, I'm just like, oh, they're calling again. It's gonna be like amazing. This is gonna be incredible. So, yeah,
It's got a
and she's
chill.
like she just takes a moment before she actually answers
I'm
the
like,
call.
breathe now. Breathe.
It could be a false alarm. It could just be Kat calling to see if I need to let the dog out.
That was the first.
Or
no,
it could
the
be
first
bad
time.
news.
The first time they called, I thought it was bad news.
Because nobody calls anybody.
No, no
Right.
one calls anymore.
Not
And
without a
I don't know,
pretext.
You know,
Right?
and Olivia knows I don't call. Like, there's a 50-50 chance if Olivia calls me, I'm probably not going to pick it up.
Correct.
She knows if I'm
We've
calling
talked
her.
about this. And also, I know, their puppy is of not good health. He's getting on in years, and we just seen him,
Oops.
and I was like, oh no, because it's not Leah calling and it's Kat. That's why the first time of Ask an Aussie was me going, hello.
So we caught, not only did we catch you at a moment where you were experiencing potential grief, but
We're
then we
vulnerable.
put you on the spot to perform live,
Hey, what's up, guys? Wacky and wild. Let's talk about some podcast. Yeah, absolutely.
represent your entire
Insane.
nation of
Insane.
origin.
Not very well, mind you.
I thought you
No.
did smashingly.
You-
Well, we couldn't have done it without Anne's subsequent theme song.
The theme song. It's amazing.
it's top notch. Top
Did you
shelf.
put? I
It
didn't.
really is.
I didn't listen to every single term item you put in there. Did you put in fairy bread?
No.
Okay.
But I've tried fairy bread on my
Have
other
you?
podcasts. Yeah.
How about
What is that?
ACDC? Was ACDC?
Elaborate.
No.
That's
Okay.
anher famous ACDC.
I mean,
When
listen,
you
it can
make
only
your
be so
fairy
long.
bread, are your sprinkles round
Yes.
or
Yeah.
the long or the like those
Round.
loggy
Always round.
and crunchy?
The
We
flat
call them
kind, like
hundreds and
round flat?
thousands.
Yeah, and they're crunchy.
So
Yeah.
for those listening that don't know fairy bread, you can just Google it. It's an Australian delicacy
Oh,
at
God.
usually children's parties.
Delicacy. I love
Of,
the use of the
of
word delicacy.
white bread, soft, fresh white bread with a spread of butter across the top, and then sprinkles over the top,
Hundreds
which
and
we call
thousands.
hundreds and thousands.
And they're round,
Oh.
colored, different multicolored.
Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Are these
See,
the
I
mini
tried
Necco
it,
wafers?
but I did it with our version of hundreds and thousands, which are those
but-
long ones.
And what was it like?
Like Jimmy's?
What was the
Yeah,
verdict?
Jimmy's hundreds and thousands. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
don't get
No, you
Vegemite,
gotta
so
have the
that's-
real thing. You gotta have the real deal.
You know-
I'll try it again.
Okay.
Like I said,
It's
when
just
you're-
gonna make your bread crunchy. and
yeah.
a little sugary.
Yeah.
LAX to Sydney Airport. 14 and a half, 15 hours.
Yeah.
We'll meet you there. We'll take you to the nearest supermarket. We'll get the stuff, and then we'll do that. And then we'll get you a
Vegemite.
meat pie. I'll get you some Tim Tams,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Tim
some
Tams.
ice Vovos,
Mhm.
everything. It'll be great.
I have to say, you said the number 14, and there was definitely a more distinct T there than I'm used to
14.
hearing. 14.
It's funny.
14.
You've actually pointed something out about Australians that I never realised until we met.
Tim Minchin.
No. Well, until you pointed out is that we go, oh right.
Mm-hmm.
I never realised that we did that, and now every time I do it, I go, ooh, I'm doing.
I didn't mean to make you self-conscious about something.
No, it's good. It's a good thing.
The other thing we do is nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, nah. We've adopted that in the United States now.
Yeah.
Oh,
we say,
really?
yeah.
And
no,
I'll even say
yeah. No.
there's a Fleetwood Mac song that until I was probably way older than I would like to admit, I thought that the lyric of the song was, yeah, no.
Which song
Which
is
is,
that?
of course, Rhiannon.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
It's about
brilliant.
a Welsh.
I love
Welsh
that.
witch, by the way.
Well, Stevie Nicks. Did you go see Stevie Nicks, Kat?
Oh, I went and saw Stevie Nicks
Nice.
Oh,
in the
no.
best seats I've ever had at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh,
Do you want to know
wonderful.
how great my wife is? Let me tell you.
We know, but keep going.
I'm married to her, by the way.
The wife that you're married to? Is that the one we're talking about?
Oh,
Taco
that's the
Dog?
one.
That's the one.
It's like 6:30 at night. I've worked a full day. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch a little TV, make some food. It's gonna be great. I'm like in that mode.
Right.
And Leah walks in and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, I live here. I don't know. Like, what are you? She said,
Because you're married.
I'm legally
Yeah,
married to you is what
We're
I'm
married.
doing. It's like,
This
right,
is our
yeah.
house.
House.
She said, Stevie Nicks is playing at the Hollywood Bowl. The show starts at 8. We have to go. I'm like, what? She's like, I'm getting you a ticket. Like, I
Kidding.
can't go, but you should go. It's Stevie Nicks, and she's
When
playing
was
at the
that?
Hollywood Bowl. I said,
Just like
and,
a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
it's well, maybe about a month ago.
3 weeks ago.
And I said, and I was, okay, so if you know me, you know, like, I don't like going out. I have social anxiety. Like, I need to know ahead of time if I'm going to go do something. Like, I can't just be like, I'm going
Not
out. and it's gonna be great.
spontaneous.
Yeah, I'm just not, unfortunately. And so she's like, no, you're going. Let's go. I'm going to get you the ticket. I'm like, I guess I'm going. She's like, you can't miss it. It's Stevie Nicks. And like, you know, we're losing our legends all the time. And I've seen Fleetwood Mac several times. I've never seen just Stevie.
I'm not. Awesome.
Oh, dude, come on. And so I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going. Like, and this is our relationship. Like, Leah is like, let's go, let's do this. It's a thing. We have to go. And I'm like, oh, but I could stay home and watch TV. She's like, fuck you, you're going. So we get a ticket for me. We get in the car. We're driving. Guys, it's been a couple years since COVID, since the pandemic. I forgot Hollywood Bowl traffic is stupid ridiculous.
I
And I'm
used
like, yeah,
to live 3 blocks from there, and it was awful.
I was like, yeah, we'll just hop on the 101. It'll be fine. Like, no, it's not going to be fine.
No.
So maybe like half a mile from the exit, it stopped.
It just stops. It just
And
stops.
the concert starts in 15 minutes.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's fine, babe. Like, half hour ago, I wasn't even knowing. I didn't even know I was going to this concert. So what's the problem? Like, don't worry about it. And she's like, you should get out of the car right now.
Get out and
Just
walk.
go out and start walking. I'm like, babe, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. And these these 3 bros just kind of start walking. Like, they get out of the car behind us and they start walking. She's like, go now. Go with them. I'm like, I'm doing it.
Hey,
So I
new
hopped
best
out.
friends.
3 guys, probably in their early 20s, like super chill, massive stoner dudes, my people.
Sure.
And I walk up behind one of them. I catch up to them. One of them is peeing behind a tree.
Oh,
They were not expecting to see me. I said,
You're like,
hey,
hey,
guys.
what you doing? You going to Hollywood Bowl?
I love Stevie Nicks. Do you love Stevie Nicks?
I waited for him to finish. I'm like, hey, guys, can I walk with you? Like, do you mind? They're like, come on, let's go. And he's like, what's your favorite Stevie Nicks song? I was like, I love anything off Rumors. What's yours? Like, we're just talking about Stevie Nicks. We're walking down the 101 freeway. Surreal. And we're passing all these dummies who are going to be late to this concert. I'm like, yeah, my wife's a fucking genius.
Wait,
So
you got out on the freeway?
we're on the off ramp. So, you know the off ramp for Highland?
Highland,
No.
yeah.
Okay, well, that's right. I forgot. Anne doesn't leave Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks.
Theo Strong.
I didn't go over the grade.
I'm
I gotta
technically
ask,
on the
Kat,
freeway. Yeah.
Did any of them say that their favorite Stevie Nicks song was "Yeah No"?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, make it to the concert. They're the best seats I've ever had at the Hollywood Bowl.
Amazing.
Stevie is Stevie, and I used you can use the Postmates app at Hollywood Bowl.
Yep.
You could stand in line for 30 minutes for a hot dog, or you can Postmates it and get it in 5 minutes.
They'll bring you a bottle of wine too, Kat.
That's a nice little tip for you there.
Wow.
Oh,
It was a great concert.
I'm
I
so
loved it.
jealous. I'm so
You gotta
jealous.
go. And I mean, listen, I've seen Fleetwood Mac with the full lineup. Just before Lindsay said fuck everybody.
Right.
So I'm sure he'll come back because he always does. He's done this several times before.
Yeah.
But if you can see any configuration of Fleetwood Mac, do it. If you can see Stevie do it, you won't be disappointed.
I think Tim Finn replaced him for a while
He
from Crowded House.
yes, and also what's his name? Tom Petty's guitarist. He didn't sit in on this show, but he's toured with her previously as well.
Nice.
Anyway, it was a great
amazing.
show.
So good.
What does that have to do with Australia?
Yeah, no.
Australian.
No.
We love Stevie Nicks too.
Yeah,
and,
I like it.
And Fleetwood.
and Fleetwood Mac.
Rumours is probably my most played album here in our place.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it.
It's a perfect album.
It's Rumors you're talking about?
Rumours, of course.
Yeah.
Is there any other that's it's just amazing?
It's a breakup album. It's I mean, there's so much going into that.
But Mythbusters with thunder only happens when it rains. That's not actually true.
Not
true?
not accurate. Nope.
Just
Nope.
Liv pointed that out to me the other day. He's like,
Doesn't.
thunder only happens when it rains. It was some thunder and
We got no rain.
there's no rain.
Isn't there a song called No Rain?
Maybe.
I feel like there is.
Isn't that that's the Bumblebee song. What's that band called?
Blind Melon?
Blind Melon.
Yeah. No Rain.
No
Here we
rain.
are.
I love that track. Love that
Good song. Here we are.
What are your Australian favourite artists? Do you have favourite artists that are Australian musicians? Either band or
Kitch
artist?
Membery.
The Vanderbilts.
The Vanderbilts.
yeah.
Also
Oh,
good.
wow. This is great. Keep it coming.
Yeah. Oh,
Men at Work.
yeah.
Yes.
Colin Hay specifically.
Colin Hay. Yep.
Mhm,
He lives over here now.
I didn't realize how much 80s music that I loved was Australian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, until I
NXS.
Googled for the song.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, oh, yeah, I loved NXS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who else is there? Silverchair.
I actually still, I believe, own their first CD
Yeah.
that came out. Mm-hmm.
Kylie Minogue.
We called them Australian Pearl Jam.
Australian Pearl Jam, yeah.
As Americans, is there anyone, I guess actors would be the main thing because, or musicians that you were surprised to know when you found out that they were Australian?
Maybe Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah.
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 Who's Memento? Who's the actor in Memento?
Guy Pearce.
Guy
Guy
Pearce.
Guy
Pearce.
Pearce. Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah. He's so good at being an American when he wants to.
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
LA
actor.
Confidential. He was in that one.
Yeah.
Classic. I mean, I have a Heath Ledger story.
Do
you do?
it.
He's talk about legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I used to work in a prop house in North Hollywood, California.
Mm.
And in walked Heath Ledger one day by himself,
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
looking very Heath Ledger-esque.
long hair.
Long hair, just everything you wanted Heath to be. He was that day. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do the accent. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm shooting a video for my band, and I just need some stuff. I said, Heath, you look around whatever you want. You take your time, buddy. And he grabbed a bunch of stuff, and we weren't supposed to take deposits on credit cards. And he's like, "Hey, can I just leave the door?" Like, absolutely. Like, whatever you want to
100%.
do, man. It's all good. So I get to spend a good like half hour with Heath.
Oh, no
And,
way. That's awesome.
Never once did he pull and eat. Like, he was just like, "Hey, my name's Heath. How you doing?" Like, it wasn't like, "Give me special treatment." He's like, "Hey, I'm just looking. My friends and I are shooting a video. I just want to get some stuff." It's like, absolutely, man.
I love
And
when
it
famous
was-
people tell you their first name, like who they are, because
It was
Ah.
so charming and endearing and humble and
It's nice to
just
Yeah, I love
everything you wanted him to be. He was that. So it's I'll never forget it. And you know what a tragedy, but such a sweet man.
that. Yeah, totally.
Good dude.
Great actor. Amazing actor. Yeah.
Yep.
Old Heath.
And breathe.
Oh, a little much for Heath.
Yeah. Pour one out. Oh, there's nothing left.
Oh, I mean, I'll sip one.
I'll refill mine and pour some out later. And
Drink some of the
I
ice
promise.
water in there.
Yeah. Yep. What a wonderful evening.
Can we just keep on going for another few hours?
No,
Is
they're
this-
going to need to cut this
No.
down
You're gonna have to
Well,
edit.
John's got to go have
I've
his.
got acorn squash and pork
Squash.
sausage waiting for me.
Ooh.
Acorn squash and pork sausage.
Mm-hmm.
But
go.
we'll do this.
Okay,
But can we do this again?
Absolutely, we
Sure.
can.
Thank you.
I don't know how, if your listeners vote for it or they like it, I don't.
I mean, we
Listen,
wouldn't know.
they get what we give them.
We
Oh,
won't know if they
you will sit there and you will listen until you are finished.
That's right.
Young lady, man, woman, whoever you are.
And
How
listen,
can you have any My Favorite Murder if you haven't had your My Mistake?
Yeah.
if you have enjoyed listening to these two charming, funny, legendary Australian
Champs.
champions of podcasting, you have each individually recorded episodes with us, so you can go back and listen to Olivia. You've been on twice before.
She has.
Amazingly, you came back the second time after the first time. We
Lord.
were not at our best.
We were not.
Olivia.
We were not. If you that one's still it's still around.
We were terrible hosts.
If you want to hear Kat and John not at their best,
Over drink and then talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Olivia, you've been on twice. Kitch, I think you've been on once on your own.
We did a Christmas special.
A Lung Winter's Night.
A lung-
was the name
Right.
of
What was it
this
called?
Yes.
A lung winter's
I
night.
love the wordplay there. That's amazing. Okay, if you didn't get that, listeners, you'll probably have to listen to the episode to understand what the wordplay is there.
Right. And
Definitely check it out.
yeah, and Hotel Antarctica was.
Oh, yes, that's
the
right.
that was the second Olivia episode, I
I
believe.
think that was the first.
Was that the
one.
first? Oh,
Oh,
dear.
yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised you remember it.
I'm surprised I remember anything.
So please go back and listen to those episodes. They're even, I don't want to say more charming. They're as charming in those episodes as they are tonight.
I think they get more charming with time.
I think so, too.
It's an exponential progress. Mhm.
And alcohol.
Alcohol helps.
And it always helps.
Time and alcohol, it fixes all.
Yeah.
And a
Time and
special-
Tito's.
And Hicks-Bleecker, thank you so much for being a part of this, not only this episode and this podcast. We are better for you being a part of us. So thank you so. This is kind of like
Got
a
the
My
whole
Mistake.
squad here.
This is the team right
I
here.
like this.
Yeah.
The best Dan.
I'll send you a check next week.
Thank you, Anne.
So thank you, Anne. Thank you, Olivia and Kitch.
Thank you.
John, I think there's only one thing left to do. Although, should we plug ourselves a bit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do it.
Where,
Sure.
where do you find out about the podcast? Where are the places that you can
Have a listen.
look you up, have a listen? What?
That's a good
Well,
question.
I'll say we've been posting like 200% more in the last 2 weeks on our social media than in previous times, which is to say we've
What?
gone from 0 to 2 posts.
Good.
Thank you. So yeah, you can find us on Twitter at MyMistake17. You can find us on Instagram at MyMistakePodcast. You can find us on Facebook at My Mistake the Podcast. Don't ask questions. Just
Why would we make it consistent? That's
I-
just
because
silly.
Challenge.
You
That's
can
just what
find
they'd
us
be
on
expecting us to do.
MySpace at and Mastodon.
You can find us
Don't
on
confuse the people.
LinkedIn.
Mastodon and Blue Sky. That's where I'm going next, apparently. This is what I've been told. Right. But and if you wanted to email us, which we love emails and frequently read emails on the air, on the pod, you can email us where, Kat?
At mymistakepodcast@gmail.com.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
if you've enjoyed this hour and a half of entertainment, boy, are you in for a treat. If you go back, listen to some old episodes, including the episodes that Olivia and Kitch have been the stars of, you'll find hours of entertainment. Do yourself a favor, subscribe to this podcast. Do us a favor, review and rate us. It helps us. Ultimately, it helps you.
Right? It does. And we have now surpassed the point where you could, should you so choose, which I don't recommend, you could listen to nothing but the My Mistake podcast for an entire week of your life.
Wow.
Just
wow,
listening
that's
to
amazing.
one episode after another. It's an estimate. We're at, I believe, 185 episodes. This will be 185. And therefore, that's 185 hours. That equates to roughly a week of time. You could spend an entire week of your life doing nothing but listening to Kat and I and our wonderful, talented guests. I don't recommend you do it, but you could. You could. It's important to know that the option is there.
Not a good life choice to do that, but
No.
if you wanted to.
Right.
Why not?
I mean,
Why not
if,
indeed?
I'd say
if
do
you
it.
have
No
nothing
treat,
better
do it.
to occupy your time with, right?
Speaking of, there's the Taco Duck. Speaking of plugging, we're gonna go around the room. Kitch, how can people find your music?
Yeah.
Kitchmusic.com is my website.
That's just like kitchen without the N.
And my band,
KITCH.
the Vanderbills, which is thevanderbills.com. And where you can listen to us on Spotify or most digital platforms, actually.
So Amazon Music, Apple Music.
All that stuff. So the Vanderbills or Kitch Music or Kitch Membery. Just look me up and check it out.
Great. And Olivia, I believe you are the recent recipient of an award for script writing. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you-
Not. Yeah. Maybe.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Wow,
Liv
did
has
I
this
fuck
thing,
that up?
No, Liv is she doesn't do well with compliments. She doesn't do well with
Recognition of
celebrating her
accomplishment.
wins.
Uh-huh.
But
Well,
no, she has.
But you'll
Olivia's a very
find none of
talented-
that on my website. I have updated it in many a moon.
But yes.
you just find me on all the socials. Usually,
You can watch
because
The Good Place,
my
where
name is
Olivia
so
appears.
Oh yeah, you're on the Good Place, and
That's right.
yeah, and the award that you won recently is
I wasn't. I wouldn't say an award. I was a finalist.
a finalist. You're a finalist.
Austin
It was
Film
a
Festival.
big deal. So yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, Austin Film Festival.
Award-winning
Screenwriting.
writer.
But yeah, don't just socials if you want to say hi. Liv. Usually it's Liv Mac Smith because Olivia Mackenzie Smith's just too long.
Yeah,
Right.
And all
Liv
my
Mac Smith.
friends use Liv,
a great
so
name,
just
though.
call me Liv Peeps. Okay.
Anne.
I do podcasts and stuff, and you can find me on Twitter at Why Not Pee.
Why not P indeed?
It's not like why not go to the bathroom. It's a whole long story.
WYNAUGHT_P.
It's a whole thing.
go.
I didn't know
Awesome.
how Twitter worked. It's whatever.
I know.
How lucky are we, Kat, to have all of these wonderfully talented, beautiful people in our lives?
We're the most lucky.
We are the most. We are. And
We're
who
lucky.
sucks, Kat?
You know who sucks?
Who sucks?
Mike Pence.
He does. So what do we say when Mike Pence walks in the room? Fuck
Fuck
you, Mike Pence.
Mike Pence.
Fuck Mark
Mike
man.
Pence.
Fuck Mike Pence. FMP.
FMP.
FNP.
FMP.
Do we need to do a clap?
Yes, let's all clap.
Speed sound.
Oh,
I just
shit.
meant as a beat. I don't need
I was just John loves
rim jobs. John
Yeah.
loves rim jobs.
I'm embracing it. I'm going in head first.
I mean, you have no
if you will.
choice.
That's right.
What else are you gonna do?